This idea that there's a separation between good decisions and good outcomes. And I think a lot of times in society, people conflate the two, and they believe that something was a good decision if it got a good outcome, and they believe something was a poor decision if it did not get a good outcome. And I don't believe that's necessarily true. I think they're two completely separate entities, and here's why I believe that. So this recent trade for Anthony Davis and Luka Dončić. Now, for a little additional context, Nico, who's the general manager for the Dallas Mavericks, is actually a friend of mine. He ran all of Nike basketball when I worked for Nike for 10 years. And he is as good of a guy on and off the court as I've ever met. He is an incredibly insightful guy. He does his due diligence. He's a free thinker. Like, he's a courageous man. Like, you better believe that he didn't wake up one morning and decide to trade away a franchise-level player like Luka. He had put his due diligence in and really believed with every ounce of his being that trade was in both short and long-term best interests of the Dallas Mavericks, which is what his job is to do. And he made that trade with great courage, because as we saw, almost the entire world was up in arms questioning his acumen. I mean, and it's laughable, and I say this a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but you're talking about a guy who has been involved in high-level basketball for his entire career, and who, let's be honest, his entire livelihood is based on these types of decisions. Because you better believe, if this doesn't quite work out for Dallas, he's going to be given his walking papers. So how he provides for his family and his livelihood is based on this decision. So you're telling me you don't think he made what he believed is the best decision possible? You're telling me that somebody that literally sits on their couch eating Doritos thinks they have a better feel over what is a wise decision for a franchise like the Dallas Mavericks than someone that has been living and breathing it every day? Now, unfortunately, because Anthony Davis got hurt immediately and Luka's throwing up triple doubles, at the moment, it doesn't look like it was a great trade. That's the outcome, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a good decision. And I also believe we need to give this thing a little space and grace to grow, and let's see 2 to 3 years out. You know, is Anthony Davis still hurt, and is Luka still throwing up triple doubles? You know, are the Mavericks at the middle of the pack and the Lakers winning championships? If that's the case, then yes, hindsight will prove that we didn't get the outcome that he wanted, but it still doesn't mean that the decision wasn't the right decision. And you can hear the passion in my voice, because this is something I'm just trying to remind myself of on a daily basis. I'm in control of my decisions. I'm not in control of my outcomes. And I want to put as much of my focus and energy and effort into making really good decisions in every area of my life as consistently as possible. I'm not striving for perfection, which is good because I'm far from it, and I don't expect to make perfect decisions, but can I get in the habit of making as disciplined and as intelligent and as thoughtful decisions in each area of my life as possible? And then I'm just going to let the outcomes fall where they may. Now, this doesn't mean I don't have preferences. This doesn't mean that when I don't get an outcome that I desired, that I'm not a little bummed out. Of course, I'm human, but I remind myself and I look back and I go, did I make the right decision? And then sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes I look myself in the mirror and go, Alan, you know, you could have and would have and should have, and maybe I'm shitting all over myself, but I could have made a slightly different decision and maybe gotten a different outcome. Well, I can't do that for what just occurred because that's over, but I can now take that knowledge and apply it to a similar situation moving forward. So now I'm actually learning from the poor decisions I make so that I hopefully don't repeat them, and I'm able to make better decisions in similar situations moving forward. Thank you.